Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classic Known Classics. This is episode number 1727, episode number 1621. I did promise this video a little bit ago, like after I did So Much Fire, So What, but I had to go to church at that point, and I just did. You probably just saw it, probably in the webs on my YouTube channel, my review for Attack on Titan. So, just do this now. Okay? Alright, first up we have the last book to discuss, well, for trade paperback-wise, for Heroes Reborn. Yeah, this is the last one. As far as I can tell, nothing else for Heroes Reborn has been collected. I mean, the final issues of the 4 books are not in trade, and you're thinking, really? Yeah, they aren't. Yeah, that's the thing. Now, aside from, well, these 4 books, there was also, well, Heroes Reborn 1/2, which there happens in this book here. There is a compilation of Exiles. Yes, 2 issues of Exiles. Heroes Reborn Ashma, Doom 1 through 3, Doomsday, Mass Evil, Rebel, Remnants, Young Allies, and Heroes Reborn in Return. Yeah, it's basically just a handful of one-shots. Now, I'm not really sure. Now, okay, there is a trade paperback that does collect Orestes. So, I do technically have one more trade left. Yeah, one more trade left aside from this one to discuss. I might get it in the future because it's the only thing left to go for Heroes Reborn. But for the main ongoing stuff, yeah, this was the last one. This collects almost the entirety of Captain America Volume 2. Of course, issue 13 is not in here because of the fact that the final issue is from a crossover with Wildstorm. Yep. Now, this book is very infamous. Why? Because the first 7 issues are written and drawn by Rob Liefeld. Yep, he wrote and drew Captain America. Now, to be honest, he actually never did this book before at all. And from what I've heard, there was rumor, one guy mentioned this too, that Mark Greenwald hated this book. Yeah, I heard he did not like this book at all. Because this came out like not long after he was taken off Captain America. And from what I heard, he was a big Captain America fan. So that's why he wrote this book for 16 years. Now, of course, Rob Liefeld is not by himself with these issues. Oh no, he's got Jeff Loeb. Of course, he's done the book for the first 7 issues, replaced by James Robinson. Yes. He also does some co-artwork with Chuck Dixon. Now, of course, Rob Liefeld does the artwork too. Hamada Studios. Joe Phillips and Joe Bennett are Al Rio. Now, the thing with these issues are, for the first 7 issues, for some strange reason, I do not know why this is, we have Captain America with this shield symbol on his where his A should be. He does replace it with the A after issue 7. Now, I have no idea why in the world Liefeld thought this was a good idea. Now, in this timeline, yes, Captain America did disappear for some period of time. But he wasn't frozen. No, he wasn't. It's actually one of the few timelines I can think of where Steve Rogers was never frozen. Nope, what they did with him is quite baffling to say the least. So, apparently in 1945, this pandemic in the regular continuity actually appeared in 1944 and not 1945. And the way that Rob Liefeld interprets his artwork, by the way, in this Heroes Reborn 1/2, we have the debut of Ricky Barnes, aka Nomad. Well, she's actually Bucky. Yep. Yeah. Now, the way that also, I should point out though, like here's the cover of the first issue. Not a bad cover, but yeah. So, I will get to, now, here is how Liefeld draws Steve Rogers. Sucked in face, and with this, like, from what I've heard as, and get this is how basically is described. Now, this woman here is apparently supposed to be Steve Rogers' wife. I think, oh, Steve Rogers was a married man. Normal town. We have this mysterious guy here who I think is supposed to be a friend of his, Nathan. He trains with World War II, and then here's Ricky Barnes. Now, here's a fun fact for you. Ricky Barnes does have a 616 counter because they actually brought this character back after this run wrapped up. But that version died in childbirth. So, yeah, she is the sister of the Winter Soldier. But surprisingly, she's never really interacted with her brother at all in that continuity. Nope. And for some reason, Rob Liefeld, see, in this book, he had Red Skull and Crossbones appearing here, along with a character who only appeared in the Invaders comic book, Masterman, a Nazi in the 1990s. Why? I don't know why. Also, the way he draws him, his face, he draws him like Cable. And who is this guy here? Apparently this is supposed to be Baron von Wagner. Yes, that's what they call him, Baron von Wagner. A.K.A. Baron Wolfgang von Strucker. So, we have Nazis already exist in the 1990s for reasons. And this is what I'm talking about here. Take a look at Steve Rogers' hair. Yes, I have heard Lynn Carr refer to this hairstyle as the Rob Liefeld default hair. Because a lot of his characters, he loves giving this hairstyle for reasons. Yes. Also, now, Steve Rogers is usually a little more beefier than this. And this guy is in the Super Soul Syndrome. Here he's muscular, but not usually. He's usually a little more buff than this. And Steve Rogers, oh yeah, he's actually Captain America. Of course, he doesn't know he's Captain America, but he is. Yeah. And now he basically turns into Steve Rogers. Well, he turns into Captain America. Yep. Drop your weapon, beats a bunch of terrorists. It's like your death to be avenged. And then we get something really weird. We see Sharon Carter and Dum Dum Dugan. Dum Dum Dugan is chubby. Yes, for some reason, Liefeld drew him basically as... Despite the fact, yes, the guy's usually pretty muscular, but man, this is not a good look for Dum Dum Dugan. In the case of Sharon Carter, she's fine. Got no issue with that, though. Man, Soul defended basically the body feature for her. But, man, why the heck is basically Dum Dum Dugan overweight? Yeah, though later on, he actually stopped doing that. Also, for some reason, he gave... Look, Nick Fury. Great look for Nick Fury. I love this look for Nick Fury. But I do have one small problem with Nick Fury. He gives him a receding hairline. I have no idea why in the world he gives Nick Fury a receding hairline. But yes, he gives a receding hairline for reasons. By the way, his wife's name is Peggy, and his son's name is Rick. Is that not to anything you might ask? Well, Peggy was his World War II love interest, who is surprisingly still alive despite Peggy's dating her niece. Rick is named after Rick Jones, his one-time sidekick as Bucky Barnes. Back in the 60s. Yeah, and it turns out these two are actually not his wife. Also, turn on the side, typical 90s. Yes. I'm sure when Marvel reprinted this in trade, they probably have no choice but to do that because this was standard in the 90s. Of course, it's Liefeld. He loves doing this. Excuse me. And it turns out, though, that this Steve Rogers was never married. He had no kids. Because these two are, in fact, robots. Yep. I at least gotta admit, Ricky Barnes is drawn really well. So. And here we go. Here's Red Skull. Like, wow. What the heck did Liefeld do to the Red Skull? He gave him saliva? I'm like, what? Here's Crossbones. Yeah, that's Crossbones. Under the Rob Liefeld artwork. And by the way, that is supposed to be Harry S. Truman, the 45th president. No, 45th. I'm trying to think. He was the 30. I think it was the 35th president. Yes, this apparently is supposed to be Harry S. Truman, but man, they get the face wrong. I've seen many pictures of Harry Truman. Like, I'm glad Liefeld got the glasses part right. But also, the Oval Office doesn't normally look like this. I've seen pictures of the Oval Office. For one thing, you're probably thinking about this, thinking I'm basically poking fun at basically one of the most iconic things about the United States, the Oval Office. And I've seen pictures of this place. And I personally have been there. But here's the thing. This may have been what it looked like maybe back in the 40s, but not currently. Oh no, this room is covered with carpet. The presidential seal is on the floor, and there's the desk, which I think what I could tell, Liefeld did get the desk correct. Is actually what the desk does look like. Yeah, that desk. From when I heard about this desk, is that this. I don't know if this is really true or not. That was actually originally present from the Queen of England. Yep. So, apparently in this version of events, Cap was not happy with the fact the atomic bomb dropped on Japan, so he tended to out Truman over this. So, he ordered Nick Fury, who, by the way, was a sergeant in the 40s, which, okay, that part was true. In River Comic continuity, he was a sergeant. And we have General Ross, who's depicted here as an old man, like, I would say, presumably a 60s. Like, how was this guy supposed to be by the 90s? Because he's not only here, but he's also in the Iron Man comic book. Yeah, but inconsistency there. And so, apparently Nick Fury has been brainwashing Steve Rogers for 50 years. So apparently he was a soldier, school teacher, a policeman, a steelworker, and a commercial artist. Yep. And you probably think, okay, if he's gone through this, why hasn't he aged? The serum keeps him young. Okay, that part is true. Yes, the serum does keep him young. Which is something that even Rick Remender referenced during his run for Captain America in I'm trying to think, I think it was like 2013, I think it was, when he brought that back, he came back with Dimension Z. And then for some reason now, Sharon Carter gets a slightly different look, and so does Dugan. At least Dugan looks more presentable. I'm like, okay, like, I'm glad the fact they got rid of the potbelly for Dugan, because I'm sure probably that the editor was not happy seeing that. But what is up with the chest thing he's wearing? And also, where's his bowler hat? If this is supposed to be Dugan, where's his bowler hat? Because here's the thing, in the MCU, he's got the bowler hat. Yeah. And the other reason why he's so muscular, because he was a circus strongman. And look, 2-page spread, turn on its side. Standard. Yep. And then we have Red Skull, who apparently is wearing a different outfit than usual. Excuse me, yes, usually he's wearing a Nazi uniform a lot of the time. I guess Liefeld, though, when he was given this task to do this book, like, oh, let's put Red Skull in this weird outfit. At least Crossbones looks correct. Yeah, at least gotta praise Liefeld for making him look correct. Though people can easily mistake the way he draws him to be freaking, like, the way he's drawn here, and the way his mask is. People could easily mistake Crossbones for Chapel from Youngblood. Just by looking at him, he kind of looks like Chapel from Youngblood. Yep. So, and then finally, issue 4, we get a little more action here. Yes, some action. And Cap takes on the Red Skull first time in this continuity. Yeah, it takes him on along with the Crossbones. Teams up with Nick Fury. It's a really good first set of issues. And then, of course, with issue number 6, something really weird happens. Oh, also, here's that infamous pose of Cap sticking out his chest the way he does. We have Captain America of Heroes Reborn teamed up with Cable. Yes, Cable of all people. Yes. Why is he here? Time travel stuff. Yeah. We had to see Cable. Love the character. Yep, and after the whole Industrial Revolution crossover. And of course you have... Now, Cap was recommended to join the Avengers. Now, here's another real-life president they have in the book. Bill Clinton. Which, I at least got to praise the fact that life actually drew him to be... they actually got... I would say, they probably took a picture. They probably took a... It's a slightly altered version of Bill Clinton, but they at least got his look right. They got his face correct. Though it is slightly altered. He got his hair correct, too. And look right here with this little smile of his. That's standard Bill Clinton. Yes, I've seen many photos of the guy, even him moving. It's like the first page, like, it's not Bill Clinton. Like, you turn the page, yep, it's clearly Bill Clinton. And now we have a more accurate version of the Oval Office. Mostly, anyways. Except for some reason, Liefeld still did not remember, well, maybe the colorist didn't remember, that the Oval Office carpet is blue, not red. Why the heck to get this wrong for? I have no idea. Also, they changed Nick Fury's attire. And there's more stuff with S.H.I.E.L.D. in this issue. Contessa is here too. Also, they actually changed Steve Rogers. They also changed the artwork too with issue number 7. Yeah, like after the first 6 issues, Liefeld leaves. And with this issue here, he stops wearing the S.H.I.E.L.D. emblem. He doesn't go back working with S.H.I.E.L.D. But Robinson takes over the rest of the book. The book becomes a lot better, more consistent artwork here. It becomes a really good book afterwards. Yeah. And I thoroughly enjoy it. It's like Liefeld just had basically just Cat fight Red Skull, Crossbones, and Masterman in the first 7 issues. Have Captain America fight other people when James Robinson took over. And surprisingly, Robinson stayed until the final issue of the book, which was issue 13. Not 12, 13. I give this book a 9 out of 10. Alright, next up is a different book. I've done with this book in a while. Daken took Wolverine. I believe this is the 3rd trade the collected issue from this run. This is Daken took Wolverine, The Pride Come for the Fall. This collect issues 13 to 19. The first 3 issues in here, well, 4 issues. Alright, now this is Rob Williams doing the artwork because for some reason Daniel Way left the book and plays for Rob Williams. Don't know why. Now we have Michelle Baragas who does issues 13 to 15, and then the rest of the book is done by Matti Bazzafi, though Michelle does come on for co-artwork for issues 18 and 19. Yep, so the first 3 issues is Daken versus Moon Knight. Yep, that's what he does the first few issues of this book. And then we throw in the Runaways because he wants to deal with the Pride. And one of the Runaways, only 2 known comic appearances they made in between volumes 3 and 4 of the book. Yep. Now, why in the world the Runaways here? At least here it makes kind of some sense because he's in LA, so why the heck not? Yeah, why not? Yeah, it's like this book was actually the first appearance since the end of that book. Yeah, since the end of that volume. They came in this book here, appeared in Avengers Academy. Of course, also was also appearance by other books too. But yeah, that's actually one of the 2 books the full group appeared in. Of course, one of the books I have covered aside from Avengers Academy is Avengers Undercover. I have not covered Avengers AI or Avengers Arena yet. Might cover in the future. Yeah, and then of course you have, well, Daken take on the Pride. We have Donna, who he basically takes away too after she gets knocked out. He basically just carries her away. presumably do something with her because, yeah, it's been very heavily implied. If you read this book, Donna is very heavily implied to be attracted to Daken. It has nothing to do with pheromones. It's because he probably thinks that Daken is handsome. Yeah, Daken's got sex pheromones, so he basically uses that pheromones to sleep with anybody he wants, guy or woman. Yep. Gotta admit, this actually was really good. I give this book a 9.5 out of 10. Just a damn good book. Yeah. Interesting, though, they take on frickin' Moon Knight. I thought that was interesting. Yes, and you might be asking, okay, how many more trades are left? You're covered Empire, Collision, and this book too. How many trades are left? 2. Really? 2? Yep, 2. Yep, big break and no more heroes. This technically was the 3rd volume of collected from this run. Yep. Yeah, and here's the weird thing though about Daken. He's never appeared in any live action or any. He's appeared in a couple of video games, but he's never appeared in any animation, whatever. Really, Punisher has, Wolverine has, heck, even Laura has, but not Daken, Wolverine's son. Nope, hasn't. No, he hasn't. I thought that was kind of weird. But yeah, really fun book. Love it. Can't wait to discuss the other 2 trades when we get a chance to hands on them, okay? So yeah, that's it for particular review. Stay tuned for tomorrow my possibly a review for Shaman King, Afria, and maybe their Comic Core and even One Piece. Okay? Next video. Bye.